Does anyone have a question? I'm happy to announce that I got a text from Sarah today, and she's doing fine, and the operation was a success. So now it's just a matter of recovery. And she wanted to come to the birthday retreat, and I told her she's not allowed. First, you got to heal up, Sarah, because the doctors told her it'll take about 6 weeks, and the retreat's in less than 6 weeks, I think. So I said, I forbid you to come. Come to the October one. So she smiled and said, thank you. I mean, there's been a lot of kind of operations. Paul Levy had an operation and he's recovering from that. And please, everyone, just send him your love. Send him all kinds of healing and recovery energy. It's funny how life just happens. Huh? I always kid around and say, you don't know what's going to happen in 10 minutes. But it really should be written in the Bible, you know? You don't know what's going to happen in 10 minutes because it's true. You never know what the hell is going to happen in life. And all kinds of surreal and strange things take place. And we complain about it and this and that. And yet it's part of karma. You have to learn how to deal with all these things that take place in life. It took a big load off of me when I finally realized, Stuart, you got to live in this moment because you don't know what's going to happen the next moment and the one after it. You don't know what's going to happen to yourself and to other people and to, family and friends and people that are close to. And so there's only one solution to this enigma. We have to really be strong enough in ourselves to live in the now, in this moment, instead of spending all our time worrying about the future and guilty about the past and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that reminder is really just a step towards freedom. Once we live in the now, we are relatively close to being free as human beings. Because to live in the now, we have to be so profoundly connected to God and all of creativity that is manifesting in the now, and not spending all our time living in our heads and our emotions, our minds, and just draining all our energy out of us that way. Does anyone have a question they'd like to ask?
Third, I have a question.
Let's go.
It sounds as if uh, attending a Zoom class, you can be in really almost any condition in that kind of a situation. Is that correct?
What do you mean you can be in any?
Well, um, whether you're physically sick or off kilter, um, it sounds as if it's still a good idea to be in a Zoom class.
I think it's the best idea, Bob. I mean, I think that, you come to a class like this and there's so much energy, and it is a constant reminder that you got to get focused inside yourself. You also are here at a feast. It's a Shakti feast, this place. And we need that Shakti to remind ourselves to be balanced inside, to be centered inside. So, yes, you can come. All you have to do is know the double breathing exercise. Not very complicated. I mean, your foot can hurt. If you do the double breathing exercise, the pain will go away, or at least during the class. We go back in our heads, it'll come back again. So, yes, yes. I mean, this is a Shakti feast here. This is not just hors d'oeuvres. This is the grand feast of Shakti, this meditation. And we're all starving to death. We need to eat this energy in order to make us more conscious human beings, the energy of God, of spirit, of connecting to a higher force in the universe, and to stop draining ourselves of all our energy by thinking and getting emotional about everything. And, all it does is suck all our energy out of us. So I suggest, look, you can't know how many times I've come here and I was feeling like shit. I really mean it, you know. And by the end of the class, I was totally revitalized human being. I said, what happened? Feeling so crummy when you sat down here. And by the end of the class, all my energy, food tastes better. I was more at home with myself. I liked myself more. Take advantage of this. And the less excuses we find to participate in it, the better. Because as I said, this is a Shakti feast. There's a palatial dinner of God's energy here, this meditation. And it certainly can help us overcome many of the problems that exist inside us. And one of the problems when people have a pain somewhere in their body, all their mind, all their attention goes to that pain. Understand? And they feed it. They just feed the pain and it gets worse. If you're focused below the navel, if the chakra system is working correctly, Understand? You will not feed the pain. In fact, you will exhaust you will take the energy from the pain, and most of that pain will just go away. Become part of the chakra system as Shakti flowing through you. We can detach ourselves from pain. We can detach ourselves from illness. We just need to have the development side to be able to do it. So I think if you don't feel well, come join the Shakti feast. And it'll really help you get better. Help you get over the problems. I mean, you think I don't have problems? I have physical problems. My God, I've had them for years. I used to see Rudy. Rudy had gout. He had a bunch of other things too. And he would do them in a work, and it would he would just go above it. Pain has a frequency. You can go above it. And that's a way of healing yourself. I always tell the story, just to finish this up. I used to go to the dentist and I'd have a cavity filled. And I would tell them I don't want any of that stuff that the drugs. It used to freak some of the dentists out. They didn't want to work on me. I said, work ahead. I'll stay above it. And after it was over with, I learned how to manage something in myself. I wasn't just being masochistic, you know? It was learning how to manage myself, how to go above that frequency that is pain. I got really strong. I don't really do it anymore, but I used to do it when I was younger. And I got really strong doing that. I used to also go on the subway in the rush hour and meditate. And that's really a hell of a place to meditate, you know? People belching and farting and pushing and shoving. And I mean, it's unbelievable, you know? And I would go there and I would meditate and I would see if I could detach myself from all of that and not allow it to bother me inside myself. And it used to work. It used to work. New York City subways during rush hour are no picnic, you know. But I would do it as an exercise, not as a permanent way of living, but as an exercise. Can I stay above all this stuff? And it used to work. And then you stop complaining about stuff and you begin to use it. How can I use this to get more deeply centered in myself instead of spending and wasting so much energy complaining about how stupid the world is? Yeah, the world is stupid, but what are we going to do? It's always going to be stupid. We need to learn to get stronger and better and more open in ourselves because of the things that go on in life. So, yes, Bob, I suggest that if you have any pains or you have a headache, come to class, open your heart, your headache will go away. I mean this. Your headache will go away. It's not Headaches are not usually headaches. They're really closed hearts. The energy can't flow. So it backs up and it's like I always say, it's like, when the plumbing is all stuffed up, everything comes out the kitchen sink. The head is like the kitchen sink, and you get headaches. You open your heart, the headaches usually just go away. And part of this meditation is opening the heart, getting foundation, opening the heart, the joy, love. Does anyone else have a question they'd like to ask? Okay, there'll be meditation, although it's a holiday here this weekend, there will be meditation on Sunday. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you very
Sure.
much.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Thank you.